My name is Frank Heyl. I'm the Director of Design at Bugatti. With over 115 years of legacy within this brand, there is a rich history of design DNA that we can reference to, which actually makes it more easy than if you would start with a completely blank sheet of paper and a new brand. Because if you have historical references to quote and to do citations of in your design work, actually it gives you almost like a red line through, a guiding line through what it needs to be, what it needs to have to be a Bugatti, to be called a Bugatti. What we also need to take into account is form follows performance. So we don't do any form, shape, theme, line, intake, exit, exhaust just for a stylistic reason, just because we can. No, there is always a function related to that shape. Always a function which is, in our case, related to performance. That's why also we say Bugatti is about the interplay between elegance and speed. So you could say it is shaped by speed in a way. And what I mean with shaped by speed is obviously there's an aerodynamic performance to go together with every design that we make. May it be top speed, may it be a high downforce value like in a bolide, or may it be top speed like in a car that goes beyond 300 miles an hour, there is some aerodynamic purpose connected to it. And the understanding of such really goes into the base thinking of the whole architecture of the car. Our number one topic that really has a big influence on all our thinking is timelessness. Why is that? If you look at how Bugattis endure the decades and sometimes even centuries in the collections of automobile connoisseurs, the aspect of timelessness is key to the whole creation process. Because these cars are around for so long, we need to make them still relevant. We need to make them not date. What dates a car is the technology of the time that it was created in. Sometimes I like to say we are trapped in the technology of our time, which if you think about it is true. Today we have screens that are the resolution that they are. We have, a tire technology that is of our time right now. We can create this and that much horsepower from an engine, or we have a battery cell chemistry that is like this or like that. But in 100 years, none of that is really relevant anymore. It won't be cutting edge anymore. To make a car timeless, one cannot afford to run after current trends. So if a trend is, let's say, to have a screen from A pillar to A pillar, it needs to be like a movie theater. Okay, great, but maybe that's not for us then. So we need to keep away from those things and rather go into the preciousness. We are a brand that is about luxury. So what is luxury? How do you define luxury? It's preciousness, it's rarity. It doesn't even have to be anything material. You could probably pay the same amount of money that we pay for a machined from solid aluminum center console for a really nice screen. But we chose exactly to not do that, actually. We chose to invest into things that will last and that will remain to be timeless. We think a lot about who we make all of this for and how it would be used or cherished over the decades, as I said, and possibly passed on from generation to generation. So the collectible value, the value of rarity, is extremely important in all our thought process. Basically, all design decisions have some aspect of that within them somehow. And so that also goes together with the experience that we create. Yes, we can speak about an acceleration time 0 to 100, but that is really not what our products are about. It starts to shift into where that is almost not that important anymore. And that's what I see happening. And that's also what we tailor-made the tourbillon to. It's the experience. It is how you feel when you sit in the driver's seat, the haptics. The feeling when you touch the aluminium switchgear, how weighted the buttons are. When you turn a knob, how oily is it? When you knock on the crystal glass, is it cold touch? Does it make a sound? The smell of the leather, the vibration, the noise of the engine. That's why also we went with a naturally aspirated 9,000 RPM engine. It sounds really emotional. And we believe through this approach, the experience to drive a Bugatti, to own a Bugatti, to live with a Bugatti in your life is incomparable. It's your human perception of all of these materials and sensations that you get offered by the experience of driving a Bugatti. You have to be there to experience them, and it's this emotional aspect of things that basically spans through all of our design thinking in every aspect. Sometimes we speak of styling. What we do in the design department, I like to regard as not styling, actually. What I regard as styling is there is a package which is already there somehow, and then you put a nice candy wrapper around it, and that's styling. What I regard as design is you go right into the basic underpinnings and into the very bits and pieces of architecture of the car, and you plant every step in the exact right way to get the proportions right, to get the stylistic appearance of the car work together with its technical necessities and aerodynamic functionalities. This is a hugely complicated puzzle to solve, and you can only solve it if you completely understand all of its technologies working together with all of its proportional aspects, working together with all of its stylistic aspects. This all has to look like it comes from one hand. Our job is to create something that somebody looks at and their heart is telling their mind that it's worth to spend a couple of million on that. In this new era, the next chapter for Bugatti, it would have been easy to say, okay, let's tear everything up. Let's start with a completely different direction and go another way. Would have been easy to do. If to do that at any point in time, it would have been now, actually. But we deliberately decided against it. We looked at that, and then we thought, yeah, but then it's not Bugatti. It's not just because you can that you should. So we looked into going a completely different ways. And in a way, you could say what we selected as the exterior design of the Tourbillon could be seen as an evolutionary approach. Yes, the car still has a Bugatti line on the side. Of course, it has a horseshoe in the front and the center line accentuation. However, it's interpreted in such a radical, proportionally extreme way, which we were never able to do before. So the revolution is in there.